Hello everybody, my name is Nootmad and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'll be taking you guys through my Gunslinger 2.0 Moze build. As some of you guys might remember, I did make a build in December of last year titled Gunslinger, and that build focused heavily on anoints and using Iron Bear to proc those anoints. And that just became a constant gameplay loop of you getting in and out of Iron Bear to maintain your damage. But since then, we have gotten a lot of new shiny new gear pieces and anoints to play around with, and because of that I thought it would be a good idea to refresh that build, as that build was a non-splash build, and even now I do sort of see a bit of a lack of alternative builds that aren't based around splash out on YouTube. So I thought it would be great if I made a build that wasn't focused on splash, because I'm sure not everyone plays Moze wants to be using a splash based build. So I thought it'd be a great idea to make a build that doesn't focus on that. So yeah, this build also has the added benefit of being a bit of a unique build in the sense that it doesn't use a standard class mod that you would see in Moze, and that is the green monster. So a lot of builds don't use this class mod for a few reasons, but I thought it'd be a great idea to figure out the best use for this class mod. And I found out that guns with very high magazine and fire rate works incredibly well with this class mod, and that's how I settled on using the Monarch as the main powerhouse for this build. So as you saw at the start of the video, this gun does an insane amount of damage with the right anointments and the right class mod, and you can see that clip as well that I showed on Slaughter Shaft. But yeah, so the main gun I would recommend to have for this build is this Shock Monarch with the 2 mag incendiary anoint for Moze. Now I stress for Moze because it's also a generic incendiary anoint that provides you with 100% bonus incendiary damage, but the Moze variant does a little bit more instant damage, that's why I recommend it. But yeah, between the shock base element, the incendiary anoint, and the green monster corrosive bonus, you can handle any enemy type in the game regardless of how much health, shield or armor they have. So yeah, primary weapon I would suggest is the Monarch, and you can feel free to use whatever guns you want. I just put in a bunch of let-off weaponry just to boost the magazine size, but you don't absolutely have to. But if you want to optimize the efficiency of this build and maintain that green monster damage bonus, I recommend having multiple let-off weapons. But yeah, if I can suggest you guys to farm a single gun, it will be the Shock Monarch with this anoint. Now, the shield doesn't really matter, you can have whatever you want or whatever shield you most enjoy. You can use an Old God, a Recharger, a Stopgap. I just prefer Transformer just because it has shock immunity and is also very tanky, with a decent shield capacity and recharge rate, which is always nice to have in a shield. Grenade class, the grenade mod, nothing too special, pretty standard for a Moze build even now. So only maddening tracker with the on grenade thrown anoint. We have a Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge with magazine size. Magazine size is fairly important and is one of the few rolls you can get on it, so you might not always have one with magazine size, so I suggest farming for one that gives you magazine size. And moving on from that, we have the green monster with +5 scorching RPMs, and weapon fire rate, weapon damage, and weapon magazine size as the subsets. Now, what makes this build work especially well with the green monster is its ammo regeneration and its fire rate. The green monster itself benefits from guns that can do just that very well, because its corrosive damage is based on for how long you fire. So being able to have a build that can fire for a long time maximizes the potential damage from this build. This class mod will also boost +5 scorching RPMs, which gives us extra fire rate and critical hit damage. Now, that's the gear. Now we move on to the skill tree. So, as I mentioned before, there's nothing really too special about it. I just invested a lot into magazine size, through match set, and Iron Bank. Cloud of Lead, Redistribution, and Forge all help with the ammo recovery and regeneration, and we also have the added bonus of Redistribution giving us health regeneration on crit, which is always nice to have. And at 10 out of 5 scorching RPMs, we get 30% fire rate and 40% critical hit damage, which is absolutely huge for Moze and enables us to melt enemies really quickly. Scrappy as well, with its mode switch speed and weapon damage, is also incredible utility. Being able to swap in and out of bipod mode when you're in combat like this quickly, without this you'll be taking longer. So if you are being swarmed by enemies, for example, you need to reposition, it's very useful to be able to swap between modes like that. So that's why I suggest having Scrappy. As for Blue Tree, the only reason we spec this far down into it is just for Vampire. This build is a lot of in-your-face style combat, so being able to get a lot of health regeneration quickly is very useful, and that's why you spec into Vampire for that. Auto Bear is also a useful skill to have as far as utility goes, because Auto Bear can draw aggro from you, which means that you'll have less enemies attacking you and they'll be attacking Auto Bear instead. And if you do equip Auto Bear with target softening, you will be slagging the enemies in a sense, which enables Moze to do a bit more damage. So yeah, that's Blue Tree. And as for Red Tree, nothing special here either. We just wanted to max out Drowning and Brass for that 60% gun damage at 3 stacks at maximum points. And Experimental Munitions that gives us extra incendiary damage on a critical hit. So yeah, this build is pretty straightforward, just focuses heavily on magazine size and ammo regeneration, and just making use of as much elemental damage bonuses as possible to basically push the limits of the damage of this build, considering it's a non-splash build. But yeah, this build I've worked on for quite some time and have found that this is the most optimal setup for it. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!